Good morning and welcome to the David Wilson Out and About YouTube channel. I'm out on another walk this morning. I'm currently in Shoreham in Kent. It's around about 6.7 miles away from home, 15-minute drive. The plan today, it's very overcast, and as you can probably see behind me, very bleak, looking like rain, but you've got to take your chances with your walks at this time of year. The plan for today is to actually walk on the Samuel Palmer Trail. It's a circular route around Shoreham, taking in some beautiful views over the Kent Downs and the Shoreham Cross. I'm actually at the moment standing by the Shoreham War Memorial. The video will probably, excuse the traffic, the video will probably be in two parts, as what I intend to do is walk from Shoreham on the Samuel Palmer path to Lullingstone, take a break at Lullingstone, and then I will be taking the Darren Valley path back to Shoreham to get back to my car. So it depends on how much I video, whether it's one or two parts, but we'll play that by ear. You can hear the wood pigeons floating, flapping around in the tree there. Anyway, that's it for now. Let's get on the walk. This trail has been named in honour of one of Britain's most famous painters and writers. In 1826, Palmer visited Shoreham in Kent, and the following year he settled there. His Shoreham paintings become more naturalistic, but were still charged with visionary intensity. The Samuel Palmer Trail is a circular walk around the village of Shoreham and its surrounding landscape in the heart of the Darren Valley. The walk is approximately 5.3 miles or 8.5 kilometres in distance, and it takes in part of the Darren Valley path. And we're off. Seems to be getting a bit busier with the traffic now. We're just after the school run, so it won't be long before we're off the main road and walking through fields. I've started my walk a little bit later this morning. I tend to get out very early, but I was between a rock and a hard place. It was whether to turn up before the school run or after the school run. So I decided on turning up afterwards, so it's about 9:30. So it's a bit of a late start for me, but we'll see how it goes. Right, well, on the left there's Shoreham School. It's a very, very picturesque little village school. I love things like that. So up the top here we'll be turning right. We go along a bit and then we'll be turning up by the Air Museum, or the Spitfire Museum. We're right in the heart of the village now. I'm just going to walk along here about 100 metres, then I turn left, head up in towards the fields. It's all uphill now for a bit. I was trying to load the route on my phone, the map, but unfortunately I've lost my signal. Well, that was a bit of a climb. Whew. Ahead of me, if you look up on the hill, you'll be able to see the Shoreham Cross. When we get up to that, I'll let you know a little bit more about that. Oh, it's very breezy this morning. Mind you, it's quite welcome, to be honest, because I'm feeling slightly overdressed at the moment. So the higher I get, the windier it'll get. So yeah, sun's trying to break through to the right of me. It's not going to happen. And if you look up there in the distance, there's the Shoreham Cross. So what we are doing is we're following a path all the way up to the top of the hill and along. Like I said earlier, I did plot this route and I've got it uploaded on my phone, but unfortunately I'm not getting a signal here. And this is another example where I should bring out my Garmin. My Garmin always gives me a signal. My phone, I'm getting no reception here, so I'm doing this walk now by memory, but I should be okay. I know where I am. I'm not that far from home anyway, so such a welcome breeze. Oh, lovely. Right, I suppose we'd better get on with the walk. Well, I've now got 120 metres of uphill, and this path here is absolutely caked with mud, so I'm actually sliding backwards as I'm trying to go forwards. You can probably hear it underfoot. Struggling to keep upright. Right, what I'll do, I'll bring you back when I'm at the top and I'm kicking the mud off my boots. Onward and upwards. It's very blowy up here. Well, the camera's already been down on the floor, but fortunately it fell in the mud. I hope you can hear me over the noise. The wind is blowing a hoolie up here, but I am up quite high. And yep, let's crack on this way. So you probably see it better now. There's the Shoreham cross, and what I'll do as I walk up towards it, I'll give you a bit of info on it. I've got the sun to the right of me now. As I said, wind's still pretty strong. I mean, you can't odds that this time of year, you're going to get that. It always makes recording difficult. So now we're heading up towards the cross. I'll let you know a little bit about it.
The Shoreham Memorial Cross became a scheduled monument in October 1921. It was carved between May and September 1920 on land donated by Francis Mildmay, who had also served in the war. Samuel Cheeseman lost 2 sons on active duty during the First World War. Samuel, a local resident, was determined to carve out a cross on the hillside to the west of the village to commemorate these 2 sons and the other 48 men of Shoreham who lost their lives.
Well, behind me you can see Shoreham village, and this is an awkward walk up because I'm walking up at an angle. So not am I only walking up, the cross is up there, so I'm turning now. But it's very, very steep climb. Although I'm very impressed with my breathing after getting over that chest infection. Still very windy, but you can't odds that. That's the thing with winter walks. Well, here we are, we're up by the cross. Oh,
450 meters.
you don't really see much of it from this angle, obviously, because it's carved into the hill, but that is one really steep walk. I proper struggled on that. It's very muddy as well, so that took me some time. But I mean, look at the views over Shoreham. Absolutely stunning. Look, right down through the village, right up through the Kent Downs, and over there. Sun's still trying to come out. I hope this video is coming out okay. But yeah, what a view. Can't fault that. Well, an update. I've fallen over once. I'm covered in mud. I've managed to clean most of it off. Camera's fallen over once, fortunately in mud. So I've managed to clean the lens off. No damage done. And my day pack's fallen off, well, fell off my back. That's covered in mud, so I've managed to clean that up. But saying that, that's what you get when you come out in the winter. It's all fun. One of the good things about coming out in the winter is there's hardly anyone about. It's midweek, but there is hardly anyone about, so you do get the place to yourself. But like I said, that walk up, it's all the way up for these views. Onward and upward. Got my bag back on my back, and we're cracking on. I've been about an hour so far, but I think that was probably the hardest bit. It's not only steep, it's just so muddy at the moment with all the rain, but you know, Actually quite bright behind me. There's no forecast for rain today, but it's forecast to be overcast. I mean, I have got a rain jacket with me. The only problem with rain is when I attach this wireless mic system, my camera's not waterproof, so unfortunately I can continue with the walk with my poncho on. I can't continue recording, which I do enjoy doing. Absolutely stunning views to my right there. So I think we got about 300 meters straight ahead, then we do a left uphill for a bit, and then we turn right and we carry right along. So most of the views will be over to our right as we leave the village view behind us, and we're heading towards Lullingstone and Lullingstone Castle. It's not such a much as a long walk. I can't remember how many miles it is. In miles, I think it might be 5.5, 6. The sort of route I do, it'd probably be 7, knowing me. But it's the climbs and the time recording. So, you know, you can't say this walk will take you 2.5 hours, 3 hours by the map, because you're recording and you've got to go by the weather conditions. So some of these seemingly short walks are literally a whole day affair. But it's what I enjoy doing. Well, going downhill a bit now, and all slipping and sliding in this mud. You can hear it squelching under my feet. Always worrying when you're going downhill, because then I know I'm having to go back uphill again shortly. So be it. I think I said earlier, I'm very pleased with my health. Over the last X amount of weeks, I've had a bacterial chest infection. Apparently it's probably been looming around since I had about a COVID in December, and I had that quite bad flu. So last week I was on a course of antibiotics, sort of 7-day course, and absolutely blitzed it. I mean, even 2 days in, I was feeling so much better. The breathing was so much better. But now, I mean, I think that climb there 2 weeks ago wouldn't have been possible. I would have given in just on the breathing alone. You know, so yeah, very impressed with that. All I've got to do now is get rid of this stupid little cold that keeps hanging on.
In 60 meters,
and then
reach the pass point.
You probably hear my phone. My phone's picked up a signal, so I've got it in my pocket with a map loaded up, and I just got it on half volume. What I do, I listen to it. I've got a good idea where I'm going, but it's just nice to have that in your pocket, just on a lowish volume, and listen to some American bird tell me where to go in meters. Means a lot to me, meters. I'm a yards, feet and inches man, being an olden. Right, turning left here, and I think it's uphill for a bit.
In 20 meters, you will reach the pass point.
I'm turning right into, I think, Shacklands Road now. And I'll be doing a slight bit of road walking. Gives me a chance to tap off the mud.
Now turn sharp right.
Yeah, she's telling me again. Narrow little lane, so I've got to keep my eye out. Let's get some of this mud off my boots. And then down here, and it's a sharp left. Actually quite nice to get on a road for a moment. Get some of this mud off. My boots feel like moon boots at the moment. Like the anti-gravity boots bolted down to the floor. Yes, I was correct. It's Shacklands Road. So we come down here and we turn left. So I'll just point you in that direction. Just a bit of road walking, then we pick up paths again.
Turn left.
Yeah, she's saying 60 meters. It's nice to be in the shade for a moment and out the wind. But I'm getting hot. At least the gusts of wind keep me, so you know, cool me down a bit. Absolutely gorgeous out here, lovely and quiet. I'm enjoying the tarmac bashing after the mud. Schoolboy errors today. Lost signal on my phone, so when I started off in the village of Shoreham, I couldn't check the map. It's come back to life at the moment. So I've got this fear that it will go down and I'll be stuck in the middle of nowhere. So I should have brought my Garmin out, even if it's just as a backup, and sling it in the day bag along with the other rubbish I'm carrying. No, that's it for the moment. I think everything else is going to plan, and it's beautiful. Got the lane to myself. I'm an hour and a quarter into the walk now, so for you camera techies out there, I'm filming on my Insta 360X3. Having got it back from repair. Already dropped it this morning, but no harm done. And hour and a quarter in with not continuous recording, but leaving the camera on. I'm on 65% battery. So we're, well over an hour in, and I've got round about 60%. So it's not doing bad. Well, that was all uphill, and I think it was Cockerhurst Lane. I've now turned right to follow the footpath, and it's, again, probably doesn't show up for you, but it's up another steep incline, walking on mud. I'll bring you back when I get to the top, wherever the top is. Oh, that was a steep climb. I've not done any recording for about 20 minutes. I've been literally walking uphill on a path, just covered in mud. So I just kept the camera down, the hat's off. That was the determination bit, get up the hill. Obviously I don't want to start carrying my coat and everything else, I want to wear it. But yeah, very, very steep indeed. Camera's fallen over again, fortunately on the mud, so I've cleaned that off. It's very worrying, it's very unstable on this Gorilla Pod with the selfie stick, but no harm done, fortunately. I've just cleaned it up, and so that's twice that's fallen over. But we'll sort that out. The things I do just to get some footage, eh? 500 and something pound camera dropping on the floor. Never mind. Right, so we've got to cut through here now, turn left. We've got a nice long walk along the edge of the cornfield on the public footway, and I believe we turn left back uphill on some tarmac for a bit, which believe it or not, it's unusual for me to actually want to walk on tarmac. I need to get some of this mud off me boots. So yeah, let's crack on. All right, onwards and upwards. I'm quite looking forward to getting to a bench now. The battery's on about 40%. I've got two other batteries. They're third-party batteries, not Insta, naughty boy, and they're nowhere as good as the Insta batteries. You probably get around about literally 30 minutes on 5K 30 frames per second recording time, which is really not good. In all fairness, they were about, from memory, about £27. They came with the charger base, so I can't really complain. It's not expensive, but what they will do when I swap them out, that gives me a chance, because I've got the charger on me, and like a good boy, I've got, I think, a 10,000 milliamps per hour power bank with me. Sorry, I got two 10,000 milliamps per hour chargers with me. So what I can do is get the original back in the day pack and back on charge if necessary, so I can get that one in. So when this one drops down to about 20%, hopefully I'll be at a bench so I can put things down. I need to stop for something to eat as well. I've got some snacks with me, pork pies, Scotch egg, coffee. So I need to actually have a 10-minute break. Maybe I'll get right to Lullingstone before I do that, but maybe not, we'll see. So I've got about 150 metres now till I turn left, and then I think I've got an uphill section again, and I believe that's probably about 400 metres, and then I'll be turning right into, I think it's Redmond's Lane. This is all from memory, so if I've got it wrong and you're a local, I apologise. Beautiful views to my left. I've got the sun on my back. So, yep, onwards and upwards. Oh, the sun's gone in for a bit, which is actually quite welcome. And the breeze is kicking up, cooling me off, so the hat's gone back on. I've got about 150 metres now till I get off this path, which is just a stony old path. I think it is access for cars, but nothing's around. And then I'll be in Redmond's Lane, where I believe I turn right. Then I'm sort of heading down, and then I go left, going along, where, as in the last video, Lullingstone Castle, or Lullingstone, will be on the right hand side, and you'll be able to see a lot of the Kent Downs, where the lavender fields are, but obviously they're not up yet. We've got a few months. That is definitely another visit, even if it's just to come up and capture photographs. Absolutely stunning. I keep missing them. I see them, but I'm never out with a camera, so I drive past them regularly.
60 meters, turn sharp right.
There you go, 60 metres, and I turn sharp right. That's actually making me grin. So I've got the app on my phone with an American computerised voice, female voice, giving me directions in meters. Yeah, when I've done review videos, etc., the Americans have thanked me for putting it in imperial, because they're still in yards and feet. Yeah, just tickled me. It's actually nice to do a bit of tarmac bashing after all that mud. I was talking about the schoolboy errors earlier, and obviously I came out with one, but I forgot one, and I've done it again. I've come out just wearing my boots. I've driven in them. They're absolutely caked in mud. I've got it all up my trouser leg, and I've got to drive home wearing these boots. So yeah, not good. So Davey, and a tip for you, always have a spare pair of shoes in the boot of your car for travelling home. Absolutely beautiful out here. I think I've got about another 60 metres, and then I turn off of Redmond's Lane, and then start on my way towards
Now
Lullingstone.
continue straight.
Oh, I went a bit off piste there. I was chatting away to you. I went quite a way past where I was supposed to turn back into the woods. So I'm now walking along through some absolutely stunning woods. Beautiful views. Trees look absolutely fantastic without the leaves on, let alone what they'll look like in a couple of months when everything springs to life. Anyway, let's get going, eh? The old camera's going to need a good clean up when I get back. Fortunately, if I put the little hatch back on and remove the wireless receiver, I can actually dip this in water and clean it, because there's some muck around the edges of the lens, some mud that I'm going to need to get out, or maybe a very fine brush will do it. I'll worry about that later. I hear a load of sawing in the distance. I'll Other than that, nothing. Not even any bird song at the moment.
In 60 meters, continue straight.
Yeah, she's telling me, continue straight. So, what a stunning woodland. Loads of squirrels running up and down the trees. Bit of a challenging walk. Probably mainly due to the mud and the amount of clobber I've got on. And obviously,
20 meters, continue straight.
I'm got my coat and my scarf on, which I do need.
Now continue straight.
And I've probably got around about 6 kilograms, maybe more, in my backpack. But that's sort of mainly electronics. It's mainly stuff for filming. I've probably still got a little bit of room for my coat if I really did want to take it off. But I've got my pockets jammed full of things, like I've got the tripod in my pocket and dusting cloth, which
100 meters, turn right.
I seem to be using a lot. Loads of trees felled here, and to the right they've built up a rather good looking hedgerow, obviously to encourage the wildlife. Love seeing things like that. Well, at the moment, in between shifts at work, I'm concentrating on Kent walks. As you've probably realised by my last few videos, I live in Kent, so it's quite,
In 20 meters,
the walks are
turn
relatively
right.
local. But I do have
Now
other
turn
plans.
right.
I've got my little bucket list for the year with my days off in between shifts and then using the odd day's holiday. It sort of gives me 5 to 7 days off. So kayaking will be high on my list of things to do again once the weather gets a little bit better. Very steep incline coming up, so I better concentrate. Get back to you in a minute. Oh man alive, that bit behind me, it was like a sheer incline up to that steel gate. You had, oh excuse me, thorns on the right hand side and just thick mud. It took me about 5 minutes to get up it. Only about 10 foot, but I didn't fall over. Right, still climbing uphill, as you probably gather by my breathing. And then I'll shortly be turning left, and hopefully I'll be going along on a nice straight bit for a while. Well, battery's on about 10% now, so it's about to bottom out. So 20 to 12. That battery, with more or less the camera being on 80% of the time, not recording, but 80% of the time switched on, has lasted just on 2 hours, 120 minutes. I believe the recommended time, or the Insta time, was 80 minutes. So that's good going. So what I'll do, I'm going to stop shortly, swap the battery out, and then I'll speak to you again. Time for a break, drop a coffee and have a bite to eat, I think, and then I'll get the coat off and cool off a bit and check my batteries and that, and then we'll crack on with a walk down towards Lullingstone. Right, onwards. That's it. Watered and sufficiently fed. We can crack on towards Lullingstone now. That was a nice 10-minute break, just sitting there. Nice breeze. A couple of pork pies and a cup of coffee. Nothing too much, nothing too grand. And I binned my, well, I didn't bin my rubbish. I'm taking my rubbish home with me because there's not a bin. So if there's a bin, use it. If not, take it home. You brought it out.
In 20 meters,
Take it home with you.
straight, then again continue straight.
Right. We're just coming out into the open
Now continue straight.
and familiar.
Then again continue straight.
She'll shut up in a minute. And familiar ground. So if I pan to the right now, you'll see Lullingstone Lake. What will be the lavender fields above them.
Now continue straight. In 50 meters, continue straight.
You may be able to sneak the view. The main road's up the top there, the road I travel in from. So it's along here, turn right, drop down to the castle, and then we start on the return journey along the River Darrant, which will be actually the Darrant Valley Path.
In 20 meters,
Sorry.
continue straight. Now continue straight.
Now look at those views. Absolutely stunning. Thoroughly enjoying this
In
walk
20
now.
meters, you will reach the pass
The
point.
worst of it is out of the way, you know, the uphill
Turn right.
now, so I've just got to drop down to Lullingstone Castle, and then I'm cutting along, basically following the river back all the way to Shoreham, and to just by the War Memorial, back where I started. Been a great trip out so far. I'm well over halfway, probably 3/4 of the way through. This is the biggest part of the walk, and the hardest part. And what I will do when I get down past Lully onto what I call my usual bench where I like to stop, I'll end part one, and that will be the first video, and then I will continue on the walk. So part two will be the Darrant Valley path back to Shoreham. Oh, it's very blowy up here, very gusty. Castle's just there now, so, and there's quite a few people about down there, sort of starting their walk or finishing their walk. So I think this would be a good, best place to actually finish part one of the video. Obviously, I've still got the rest of the video along the River Darrant, so that will be part two. So yes, if you've liked part one, which obviously part one of two, then please give it a thumbs up, give it a like. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. See you on part two. Bye for now.